welcome to or welcome back to our channel. Today we thought we would do a little trip recap from the trip that we were just recently on. So we were in Disney from May, we were there the 14th through the 18th. So we just thought we would kind of share our thoughts about it, any opinions that we have from our time there. So we have a couple of questions, kind of like how we did our last one, just to kind of like touch on some things of our trip. So, you ready?
Yes.
So like I said, we were there from May 14th to May 18th, so like right in the middle of May. Mm-hmm. So, how was the weather?
Hot.
Oh, that's hot.
It was so hot.
Yeah.
It was like high 90s with like a real feel of over 100 while we were there. And we're from South Carolina, so like right now we're like boiling hot, and it's only like in the 80s, like 90s, and that is super hot for us. So we're a little unaccustomed to hot Florida heat. So we were definitely having to listen to our bodies and take breaks as needed. The last time we were there, if you remember, it was back in like end of December, early January for New Year's. So that weather was like perfection.
Yeah.
That was so nice. Like, we could wear a sweatshirt into the parks in the mornings and then, like, be completely comfortable in the evenings. So this was a little bit new to us. Like, as you saw, we had to, like, end our Epcot day early just because of how hot it was and the fact that I had, like, blisters on my feet. So it was not ideal.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I think we need to probably plan Disney trips for, like, winter time. And then, like, if we ever want to go to the beach or the mountains or anything, we plan those for more summery occasions.
Yeah, but not to say that we'll never go to the parks during this time of year again. Yeah. Because I do love Flower and Garden, and that's one of the things, like, Flower and Garden is only during, like, hot summery months because it only runs from, like, April to May. Yeah. Or March to May. So, you kind of have to brave the heat, but it's something that you gotta, like, listen to your body, stay hydrated, buy, you know, the cooling towels, bring your fan, stuff like that. You gotta have to be prepared for the weather.
Yeah.
Because...
And just make, like, you gotta know you're gonna have to walk in and out of shops a lot just to, like, get in the air conditioning, stay cool. Because there was some people in Animal Kingdom on our last day where their backs were fully drenched. And I was just like, I don't even see how these people are doing this.
And I think that's one thing, like, with our drive home on our Animal Kingdom day was so much worse because we were out in the heat that morning and we were just, like, dead tired driving home.
Yeah.
So.
And then other things that happened too.
Yeah. But, you know, just the heat, be prepared, you know, check the weather, prepare for even hotter, even though, because if it's going to say this, but then it's going to feel even hotter. So, like, you know, dial it up a couple notches. Nonetheless, it was still a perfect trip. And, like, you know. Okay, so then talking about our resort. So, as you guys saw, we stayed at All-Star Movies for our first day because we kind of added on another day. We weren't planning on it. Josh was actually able to get off work earlier than we had expected, so we added on an extra day. That's why we did the All-Star Movies, and then we stayed at Pop Century for the rest of our trip. So what did you think about the resorts that we stayed at?
I liked both of the resorts, but personally I think I liked our first resort at All-Star Movies a little bit more, and the room felt bigger. Now in hindsight, I think we realized that it's because it was a accessible room. Yeah, so that's why it was a little bit bigger and things were a little bit stranger than what we were used to.
Like wider.
Yeah, so I think that's why I'd like to go back and see how, like, a normal room felt. Just to see if that was the only reason that we really thought it was kind of elevated. But I really did like Pop Century too. I think just like Disney consistently, like, all the resorts are just...
Yeah.
You love staying at any resort, even like with the Pop Century room not being exactly what we wanted. We still really enjoyed it, and we still loved walking around the resort and seeing all it had to offer. So I think I like them both a lot.
Yeah, but you would say that Movies is your favorite?
Between the two, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think I don't know. It's hard for me to choose because I did love them both so much. Like, Pop Century, you have the Skyliner. And the Skyliner is, like, my favorite mode of transportation in Disney World. But then All-Star Movies, we loved where we were placed. Like, we were in the Mighty Ducks section, and so we were literally so close to All-Star Music.
Yeah.
So it was nice that you have all of these different resorts so close to you, especially if you're wanting to do pin trading and stuff like that. Like, you can go to movies, and then you can go to music, and you could even, walk over to sports, too. So, like, that is a really nice thing. But the downside, I mean, we didn't have to drive to, we didn't have to take transportation to any of the parks.
Sorry, I don't understand.
I thought it was making some noises.
We didn't have to take any transportation to any of the parks because we didn't have a park day planned for that, departure day from All-Star Movies. Mm-hmm. So I feel like before I really, say, I need to go back to both.
Yeah, and that is, a big, I think out of all three that we stayed at, I like Art of Animation the most.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because it was our honeymoon. Maybe it was because it was our first time being there. I think I like Art of Animation over Pop Century because Pop Century doesn't have the same
it doesn't
Disney
feel
feel. Yeah, they do have Lady and the Tramp there, the big statues, but other than that, it's just mostly
Well, there's Mowgli. We didn't really get to see. We didn't venture out much past the Hippy Dippy Pool. We were over towards the 50s side. Mm-hmm. We just didn't have time to go into the 80s and 90s sections, which next time we're there, we definitely want to.
Yeah.
But it's just this time we didn't really have the time to. So there's more to be explored with all of the resorts. There's a Pop Century cheesecake that I really wanted to try and I completely forgot about it. So we have to go and try that again. But I get what you're saying. Art of Animation is just from the second that you step into the lobby to the second that you get to your room, you're completely immersed into this little Disney bubble and Disney World. And even your room is completely themed, to the floor, to the bed, to the mirrors, to everything is just complete immersion into this little Disney World.
Yeah.
So Pop Century is I feel that's more if you don't want that complete immersion, but if you're someone like us where we really liked being completely immersed into it,
yeah,
it has its things.
Yeah, and that's what I meant. They do have the touch of Disney there, but it's not the full effect. The buildings are more themed. She's right here. The buildings are more themed to the centuries and things like that. So you're gonna see things more directed towards dancing and things like that, opposed to
Scat Cat.
Yeah, opposed to Disney films.
Yeah, but still, loved. We're obviously we said before, we want to try to get to every single resort on property. So, yeah. Okay, so have your favorite parks changed? Obviously, we only did the 3 parks. We did not do Magic Kingdom. We went to Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot. But has your favorite park changed?
I don't think my favorite park has changed. No, I don't think.
What is it still?
Epcot.
Yeah. Mine is definitely still Epcot. We just love it. I mean, and the past 2 times that we've been, it's been the first park that we go to. And it just feels so... I don't know, it just feels like home.
Yeah.
I don't know, it just feels so good. I love it.
Oh, yeah.
And we were able to do more stuff than we did last time. I want to see Luminous the next time that we're there. Hopefully we can, be able to stick it out and stay to the end. But
yeah. Hopefully. Yeah. It was just so hot.
It was so hot.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't know. Epcot is still 100% my favorite. I still would probably... Of the 3, I would be in the same order of going Epcot, Hollywood Studios, then Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And
And again, I think we've said this in the past, not even the Animal Kingdom isn't good. I don't think we would ever want to go to a trip and not go to Animal Kingdom. You said dinosaur, and then I said ride because you said that. And so I don't think we'd ever want to go to Disney and exclude Animal Kingdom, just because we're it's not our favorite park, because we love it. I mean, and I gotta get that Donald safari pin. It's gotta happen.
You have a lot to get from that set still.
Yeah.
But Yeah, still love. Haven't changed much. Has your favorite rides from those parks changed at all? I forget what we said originally, but...
I mean, I think we probably said Animal Kingdom was dinosaur, which that hasn't changed for me.
Mine's probably still Everest.
Epcot is probably still, like, Ratatouille.
Yeah, I would say still Remy's.
And then for Hollywood Studios, I mean, we did Mickey and Minnie's, but I do want to add that... what was it called?
We were able to ride Rise of the Resistance this time around. Yeah. We got lucky and we were right there in Galaxy's Edge when it was like less than a 30-minute wait. Mm-hmm. So we got super lucky and we were able to get on that and ride it. And we didn't get to last time around. But that one was... We love the like trackless, like individual car rides.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Remy's, you know, Mickey and Minnie's and Rise of the Resistance is all the same type of like feel. Yeah. So, that was a really great ride. I would still say Mickey and Minnie's is my favorite, but I think Rise of the Resistance would probably be my second favorite, even above Tower. Although I love Tower.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying Rise of the Resistance also because, like, there's just so much in it. You're, like, with almost every other ride, you're getting to, like, go on the ride, experience it, but with Rise, it's, like, you are getting a queue line that is the best queue line in all the parks, so, honestly.
Yeah. It's so immersive.
Yeah. It is. If it's not the best ride, it's definitely up there. Because even though we're neither of us Star Wars people, we don't care about Star Wars at all, but it is so, like, immersive, and it puts you in a whole new space that just feels so, like, new.
Mm-hmm. So this time around, we didn't do any table service dining. We only did quick service. So, did you miss table service dining?
I would say, yeah. I kind of did. Like, maybe not as many as we did the first time, but at least one. Yeah. Having that one table service would be nice.
I missed it, but I feel like we had a whole lot more time in our day.
That's true.
Because, I mean, like, a table service can take up, you know, an hour or more of your day. So, like, just doing a quick service, like, you know, eating, sitting down for, you know, 30 minutes, resting, relaxing, and then, like, going, and not having to, like, even though the lines were kind of long in some places, you're not having to wait for your reservation to be called, get sat down, and then, like, order, you know, drinks, appetizer, food, dessert, da-da-da. Or even, like, with a buffet, you know, you're waiting on those characters to come around, and sometimes you're waiting for those characters to come to you. It feels like you have a whole lot more time in your day to do a whole lot more. Like, even though with Epcot, you know, we ended our park day early, but we didn't have our dining reservation in the middle of it for Ohana, it just felt like we got a lot more done, even though we were, you know, we got more done in our day having ended it at like 6 o'clock this park day than we did having an entire park day the last time we were there with having a dining reservation. So I don't know if that's making sense what I'm saying, but I feel like you had a whole lot more time in your day to get other stuff done. So, like, I miss dining reservation, like having a table service dining, just because you had that moment of, like, you know, especially with like a Steakhouse 71, you had a really nice dinner.
Yeah.
And, like, the food was great for quick services, but your table service dining, with some of them, the food is, like, so great.
Yeah. And, I mean, I do see what you're saying, but I also could come, like, back and say it might be nice to have that hour to just relax.
Yeah, I know.
And that's maybe one of the reasons, because I don't think any of the food except for Steakhouse 71 really compared to a lot of, like, the quick service places that we went to. So, I mean, I think it's also more of just being able to sit down and relax and have that hour to eat and just kind of, like, rejuvenate yourself.
Yeah, and, like, you had AC, like, sitting down in AC.
Yeah.
So, like, with, like, quick services, some of them are just, like, a little outdoor patio area with a little ceiling fan. So, I don't know. Yes and no. Like,
yeah, it's hard to say.
You kind of just have to, like, what's your priority? Of, like, do you want to have a nicer sit-down dinner, or do you want to get, like, all the rides done? And, like, the more we go, I feel like we'll have, like, we've done Frozen now. Like, we've done this ride this many times, da-da-da. Like, we won't have to feel like we got to get everything in one day. Do you still think Genie Plus and the addition of Standby Skipper is worth it?
I think so. I mean, if we didn't have it, we would be standing in every line for like 40 plus minutes. And I feel like we'd get so much less done. And I want to say that even I think Standby Skipper was worth it, because once you figure out how to use it and get used to it, I think it's really a solid way to line up your day. If you're staying there for a week and you get like the week-long pass, it's like cheaper than like 2 days of buying it just like the individual days. So I think it's worth it personally.
Yeah, I think it is too. And especially with the Standby Skipper, it gives you the opportunity to step away from your phone and like have it still be able to use Genie Plus, but being a little bit more like in the moment rather than in your phone on a ride trying to like get that lightning lane.
Yeah.
Which I haven't done that, but I've seen so many videos of people doing that situation. But we will continue to buy Genie Plus, and everything has changed. Everything will be changing this month of how you go about getting lightning lanes, and I think even the name is changing a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how that is all going to play out. And I'm interested to see people's videos on everything, because I don't fully know everything. I know you can like book stuff ahead of time rather than like it being the morning of and then like every 2 hours. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. But as of right now, as we're standing with Genie Plus, worth it.
Yeah.
Not sure about the next go around.
From what you've been saying about it, I have my reservations. I
know. I'm worried.
Yeah, because I guess we don't really want to talk about it, but just from some of the things you've told me, it's made me nervous about like how if it's gonna give the people who are staying on property like a huge leg up. Yeah, a huge advantage on being able to get things, and then just if you're not staying on property, you don't have that like a chance of getting anything.
Yeah,
so,
and
I'm curious.
We'll just kind of have to see everything, because I'm not fully understanding of all the rules, so I don't want to say too much about it.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you would change
about our trip?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think so. I think I genuinely enjoy. I'll say this: the only thing I would have changed is I wish we could have went to Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. I wish we could have been there for longer. And
hopefully in the future, we'll be able to take longer trips.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way everything worked out.
If I can convince him.
Yeah, because I will say...
not that I need to convince you. You're pretty easy to convince.
Yeah, I would love to be able... I want to go for longer even than our first trip, because I want rest days. I want to go and have like a rest day in between each park day. But it's just expensive.
Yeah. But it's worth it. It's expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
So... personally, I don't think I would really change anything except for, wishing that we could have done more park days, been there for longer. But, I mean, like, it's hard to say that you would change something because it was so perfect.
Yeah.
Maybe not gotten an accident. But
yeah, we would have changed that.
I mean, we were fine, but, just insurance is not fun. Trying to, get through all that was a time, but we're good.
I think as a whole, I'd say I might have changed that we could have stayed in Animal Kingdom for a whole day and had a full departure day where we could leave earlier, because we didn't get back until like 3 in the morning, and that was because of the car wreck. But also, I mean, if you're going, you have to have you're going to stop a lot, so we need to probably plan that a little differently.
I wish we could have gone to Buc-ee's again on the way home.
Yeah.
I love Buc-ee's. Okay. What is the best tip or trick that you learned on this trip?
We've said it so many times, time and time again, but just listen to your body and know when it's been too much and when you need to take a step back and just relax.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I would probably just say, like, make time for stuff that's outside of the parks.
Yeah.
Like going to the character warehouses and going to Disney Springs, going to the Lakeland Antique Mall. We loved Portillo's. Like, there's so many things that we did on this trip where it's going to be a must every time that we go. So, like, make time for other stuff that's not just Disney parks. And, like, again, the more we go, the more we're going to get to see in Orlando. But, yeah, I feel like Orlando has become, like, our little trip. Every time we go on, like, a little vacation, that's where we go. So,
Yeah.
that's okay. It's okay with
Yeah,
me.
I mean, I don't think I've ever said this in a video, but I've told Lavender, like, in terms of vacations, like, I may want to go to the beach every once in a while, but on top of that, I don't really mind where we go, so I'm more than happy to go to Disney.
It's super fun. Like, I don't know. It's just some
the-
people. It may not be some people's like cup of tea for a little vacation because it's not the most relaxing, but it's so fulfilling.
Yeah, like, when we go on vacation, we want to, like, feel like we've did something. I mean, it's nice to go to the beach. Like, we talked about it earlier today that we want to try to go to the beach again just because we love the beach atmosphere. But, I mean, we love Disney.
Okay, final question. Would you go again?
Maybe. Would you?
I don't know. I have to think about it.
You know what? I think we should go again.
I think you should too.
When should we go?
We're going for Halloween. So if it's not obvious, we're gonna be there for Mickey's Also Scary party.
Yep.
So we'll be there for Mickey's Also Scary, and we're also going for Halloween Horror Nights. So we're going with some of our friends. We'll share more details in another video because I like doing a little plan with these. But we're not staying on property, so this will be
First trip
a
not on
new.
property.
Yes, this will be a new experience for us. But we hope you stick around. As you can tell, we're super.
Yeah. And our friends are super excited about it too. That's one thing we're happy about is we're going with people who are really like wanting to go to Disney.
Yeah, it's gonna be a super fun trip that we cannot wait for. Literally have a countdown. Cannot wait. It's gonna be so fun. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Scat cat.